This meeting is being recorded.
So, hello everybody. This is a meeting about there's no one
Roos,
about.
even
Huh?
tussendoor. Vergeet even niet te zeggen dat dit voorlopig een week laatste is.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. This is a meeting about non-duality, and this meeting is also always on the Saturday evening from 7 till. No, it's 1 hour and a half, and then the Sunday morning in Holland. But there will be a change. So next week there will be also on the Saturday and on the Sunday morning. But after that there will be a few weeks. There's no Zoom meetings, and then March 24, 25, I don't know. It will start on the Friday. So we will have meetings on the Friday from 7 till 8:30 in the Amsterdam time, and on the Saturday morning. So the day will change. You can see it also on my website, and I will put it underneath the YouTube that it's different. And the whole planning is not done yet, but it will be there. And I'm planning a weekend, so it's not sure yet which date it will be, or about the 20 April, or maybe 20 of May, around the 20th of May. So I will let people know if it's sure that the date is there. Oh, there's a question. Is it permanent? No more meetings on Sundays. Now, permanent, I don't know, but for a while I will, from March the 25, I will do it for a while, like on the Friday evening and the Saturday morning. So not on the Sunday then. Yeah, it's summertime. It's spring. We want to bike in the weekend. Okay. There's only not knowing. There's only not knowing. This is not a meeting with a teacher that knows quite answers on your questions, that knows how the world is, that have answers on any question about how does this work and what does that mean. I don't know. And there's no me to know. So they're saying I don't know because there's just talking in a normal way, saying I and things like that. That doesn't mean there's someone. It's just there's already no one. And it's not only here, there's never has been someone. And it seems like because we as people can abstract, that it seems like there's two. And when there's two, like, oh, you are here and I am here and everybody is there, and there's a behind and a before, and everything is good or bad, then there seems to be also arising a drive to make things right and to do that. And how that works, I can't even know why that is, but it's a really describing of a really strong drive and energy, like wanting to make it right. And so it can be after years also in the story. This is talking in the story, like there can be a huge embodied drive to make things right. And the word right and wrong maybe are not mentioned anymore, because a lot of times it's very clear that it's not about good or bad or right and wrong. But there still can be something like, oh, it's more flowing. So there seems to be not enough. And that's the misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding of only from people who can abstract everything. So it seems like there's not enough and it's not good, and I have to work on that, or to see it, or to know. And in the same time, life is just happening by itself already. So there can be a lot of thinking and being busy with everything. It doesn't matter. It's just what's also is happening, but it doesn't have any direction or power. It's just what's happening. Thoughts can happen without any meaning, and we are so convinced that everything has a meaning. And then suddenly, oh, it doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just this. It's just this life hasn't any meaning. It's just what is. And we as people, as individuals, are filling it in or assuming that there's a meaning, and we have to find it. We have to know what we want. We have to know what our talents are, because we're very convinced, and it's not even convinced, it's so like that there's someone, and there's inside this body, because it seems like everything is real. Inside the body, there's someone, a center. Maybe there's some contraction. And then it seems like, oh, that's the trouble. So there's coming to non-duality meetings and trying to find what's the trouble, what's can help to not be in that whole me construct anymore, and finding and not searching anymore, maybe. Nothing is wrong. That's amazing, because we're so into right and wrong, or in that sense. So there's just what's happening. This is not a teaching. This is a describing of what's going on, but it's a very literally describing. So there's no knowing about anything. It's just a describing, like what is seen, what is felt. It's very literally like that, and that's it. Nothing more. So there are no answers in that sense about how is this or why. There's no answer on why. I don't know. There's no knowing. It's just what's happening. There's no why. And there's also, we are so in development and trying to become something or trying to deal, and so it will be better in the end. Because we're living in time. It seems like we're living in time in the story. And then there's suddenly someone like me or other people in this message saying, there's no time. It's a construct. It isn't wrong time. Thinking in time and planning can happen. But it's a construct. So there's no time. There's no before and there's no after. Whoa, that's something. Because when there's no before, no after, then so many concepts are not real anymore, are not like, I like seeing like, oh, is that like that? So responsibility, because it's important to take care of somebody. There are so many beliefs and constructs and concepts about how to live your life, how to behave, that it's so embodied that it's not even noticed. And this is also not about noticing. If it's not noticed, it's not noticed. That doesn't matter. Then it's just happening like that. There's nothing more, how do you say, there's nothing better than anything else. That's what we think. It's better that it's more relaxed or more money or be more happy. Because when there's someone, it always seems like there's happiness. I need happiness for myself or freedom for myself. But when there's not seeing anybody and it's empty, everything is empty, then it's not about happiness or whatever. It's about everything. It's everything. Everything is it. It doesn't matter what it is. It feels different. It's different. What it's seen is different. But that's it. There's no conclusion. So we can talk about that. And maybe there are questions. There are also no stupid or bad or not bad questions. It's there. It's everything. So there can be any question also about the story. It's okay. And it's everything. Maybe not listening is there. No, then there's not listening. Going away can happen. Do something else and then coming back. It's everything. It doesn't matter what happens. It's already that. That's the joy. There's no homework. There's no need to understand. And if you're trying to understand and being busy with that, then that's it. So there's nothing wrong with anything. And we can talk about that or say nothing and just be there or not be there. I don't know. Whatever happens, is it? The way you sit, the way what's happening can be there. No need to be full on because it's already complete. It doesn't need to be full on because it's already full on in the way it happens. That's full on. We think, or me, or that whole individual thinks, oh, it's not enough, so I have to do more. I have to do full and everything. It's already full. It's already full. The way it is, that's full. No energy is no energy. That's it. For no one. So there can be questions, there can be maybe a sharing or writing down something. We'll see. There's I feel like eating ice cream now. Oh, ice cream. And then there is the idea it's a bad thing to do. Maybe it will shorten my life. Yeah, you never know. You never know. So there can be a feeling and an urge of a longing to eat ice cream. And maybe there's eating ice cream or not eating ice cream. I don't know. But we think by thinking about it and having the idea, oh, is this good or maybe that, then there are a lot of thoughts. And then and in the meantime, maybe there's eating ice cream or walking to the um, fridge and taking it, or just sitting and only thinking that that's what's happening. There's no one doing that. So we are not capable of thinking like, oh, this is my life and this is my body and I have to take care of it and that's the dream of me. We always busy with everything about what am I doing? Do I doing the right thing for myself? Do I take care of my body? It's not your body. There's nothing real. It's an appearance. So even the body is an appearance. So it's energetic. It's empty also. So there's no one. This is somewhere something is going on like, oh, that sounds so free. And it's a longing for that freedom, but it's also a fear because it's nothing. There's nothing left. Also no identity. There's nothing. So when there's an identity and a feeling I have to take care and being busy with all that, there seems to be an identity and I'm like this and I'm taking care and do I do the right thing? But also I'm on the right path, maybe, I hope so, and things like that. So there seems to be an identity, and this message is threatening that. It's throwing everything out of the window. And that identity and that feeling I'm capable of controlling and doing things in my life. If that is threatened and not seen as real, that can be something and can be a fear arising about that. I don't know. That's so different. And some people say, yeah, I did say that. Yeah, I want to lose my me. I don't want that me anymore. Something like that. When it's threatened and then somebody is talking in this way, there can be a fear suddenly. You don't even know why, but it's suddenly like, oh, can be like that. Or relief also. So different. So there's no control. And then somebody saying, is no one better than someone? No, no, there isn't someone. But it's when it's convinced that it's being that you or somebody is being someone, then that's what's going on. It's not better or less. It's just what's happening. There's nothing better than anything else. And that seems sometimes like, oh, when there's like Rose is no one anymore. That's a concept. It's not like that. And that's very strange because we're always thinking in concepts or a state or things like that. When people like, when this message is communicated, it seems like there's something, I want that too. That's what me does all the time. Like, oh, there's something else that seems to be better than the place where I am, because I'm suffering and there's still that me going on. But that's me. Me is always thinking there's something not enough. There's something wrong with whatever happens. And that's the construct. So that's lost. That's the only thing that's lost. The rest is just there. And but it's huge. It can be so embodied that there's something not right yet, or something not enough, or anything like that. So there's such a drive to make it right. And that can be so embodied. There's somebody. Just go.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. I really love that there was saying there is no right and wrong. And but sometimes there comes the but. Sometimes I still, when there are teachers are teaching in a way to the I am, then I'm thinking that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But
of course, it's also that's what's apparently happening. But yeah, maybe you understand what I mean.
Yeah, but it feels like it's the frustration of when there's still that still that feeling, oh, there's something wrong, and oh, I shouldn't do that. I don't need to do that, or things like that, because there can be an understanding of this message, and then seeing like, oh, but there's still that feeling I'm doing something wrong, of there's some me going on. Oh no, there's no me, and there's a confusion about that, and then that you can't do anything about that. That's me struggling with there's no me, there's me, this is right, and all that. It's seen that it's not about right and wrong, but it's still, there's a struggle, and that can be like that. It's energetic.
Yeah. It's more when other no ones are talking about there are circumstances, and it's about to have a good feeling, and you have you need your friends.
But then there's no one talking. There's someone talking.
Yes. So
Well, people.
yeah.
There's so many misunderstandings about this message. There are a lot of people talking now about non-duality because it's very popular and all. I had this. I can say a really long time ago, when I was going to Tony Pass, and I thought, oh, I really understand the message, and there's already no me here, and it wasn't like that, but it was just a little bit an understanding, or maybe an understanding, you could say that. There was still me going on, but I had no clue about what's me or not me or something like that. I had an idea about that and a knowing about what's going on. And I see that happening a lot around, that people talking about that and still seeing everything as real or circumstances, and not saying wrong and right, but something else. Yeah, that can be confusing, but yeah, that's also what's happening. It's not wrong, but it's confusing.
Yeah, it's more, it's a colleague at school, and then I'm
Yeah, it can be very close then, but then that's what's going on, and it's energetic. So I don't know how I can't explain how that works, but that doesn't matter. There can be a frustration about that, or then there's frustration or confusion, or then that's what's going on. I don't know, or anger. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And it's not because of her or because of someone else. There's only one. So there can be confusion, or there can be anything happening, also tables. It's not only about feelings in the body and what's going on with me. There's also tables and drinking juice or something else,
Yes.
ice cream. So it's everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, we are so focused. That's what normally in the story of me, the focus is so on what do I feel? How do I live my life? Is that going? Do I need that? Or all those questions. But that's how it's energetically working. It's no one doing that. It's life, but it's energetic. But it's going nowhere. It doesn't matter. It's not important. But when you're in that, it seems like
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. But then it's can happen too. Yeah. This is not all the time like, oh, this is so free. I don't need da. No, that's a dream. That's a concept about what shall happen, about the longing not to have any problems anymore or things like that. Then it will be feeling in a certain way. No, it's everything. It's everything. So there's also no escape when something happens and somebody's screaming at you and then and there's that. Yeah, can happen. Sure.
Thanks,
It's
Rose.
very normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, it's cold. Sorry. That's very often that happens. And that's when there's somebody like me, I'm in the circle of that. And you get something like an idea that I know, or there's a certain life about Rose, or how does she do that, or things like that. That's how that whole construct works, because there's a longing for something, and maybe it's not really very obvious, but there's a longing asking why and how does it work for you now, and things like that. It seems like there's putting something extra on Rose or something like that, and there's no Rose. There's only not knowing. There's just speaking about what's literally seen or felt. That's it. Nothing more than that. So there are no answers. There's no special thing about Rose because there's no Rose. That's a construct. That's something like, oh my God. And then what do I do here? Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing to get. Well, that's strange in a meeting, nothing to get, because we are sitting here. There's something, seems like there's something wrong, or there's something not working, and maybe something is falling away in this meeting, or something is happening. There's no need to happen anything. Life is happening by itself, and it's everything. But then when there's a looking at it, there seems to be, no, it's not yet there, or it's like that. There's only not knowing. there is apparent knowing also not knowing. No, it's just knowing. But it's an appearance, yeah, but it's knowing. Yeah, I don't know. Oh wow, I'm not so good in all those questions. There seems to be knowing things like that can happen. Yeah, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's not knowing or knowing. It doesn't matter. There can be knowing, but it has no meaning. It's not important. It's nice. There can be knowing of information or doing a quiz, something like that. There's a lot of knowing in there. But then that's what's happening, or knowing about how to live your life or things like that. And it can be lost. There can be some knowing maybe about how to work. I don't know. I don't know. It's just silly talking. Life is happening by itself. It's drinking coffee. It's that. It can be knowing, but there's no need for that. There's no need for anything. It's already happening by itself. So we think when there's a knowing, then it's going better. That's in a way a concept which is really tempting. And also knowing is also not about information, but it's also knowing what I did a lot. It's what do I feel? Oh, it feels like it's, and then trying to say how it feels. It feels like, oh, this is really about, oh, so alone, and do I have any friends? And that remembers me of my parents, and then da 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 da. That's also a knowing. It's a remembering and a knowing, and can be like that. It's, yeah. But it's an how do you say, assuming that that's the case, and there's not knowing. Complicated. Okay, another one. Can we recreate ourselves each time because there's no one specific? No, there is already no one. So it's just what's happening. So there's no one doing that. There's nothing inside. It's very literally when there's looking to do this face or that face, what you see on the computer. There's nothing, there's just seeing that. And we assume there's someone inside. I don't know. I just see face, that's it. And that's lost, assuming, or those concepts or beliefs, that's just not there. I don't know how that can happen. Concepts can be lost, or beliefs. And then it's suddenly like, oh, there's just a face. Not assuming that there's someone inside. It's just a face or just seeing a body. That's it. And it can be really lived like that. So there's no one creating anything. It's life. And then they're saying, can I create my own reality within the dream? No, there's no one. So there's no one creating anything. It's life going like that. There's no free will and choice. When there's no one, there's also no free will and choice or control. There's just what's happening. This, moving a hand. So there's no choice. And another one. Sometimes I'm scared if I imagine something, it will happen. Yeah, that's what in the dream, in the story of me, there are a lot of things that because we are so into what I'm doing in my mind, then they're creating something and maybe that will happen because it can be very strong, that fear that will happen. So when it happens, oh, I did that because I was so busy with that, or it's an endless being busy with thinking that you're able to create circumstances or to have a free will to do things, or the fear can create something or things like that. It's life. It's energetic. thoughts don't have any power, but it's so convincing that thoughts, they have a meaning, they have a positive thoughts, if they have power, they do something. It's very important how you think. Thoughts just happen, they arise. It's not even in the body, but it's in space. And there can be thoughts suddenly there, and then it's not my thoughts or your thought. It's just thoughting happens for no one. So there's no one doing that. It's life, it's energy going. Oh, a lot of questions. Thanks. Oh, no, another one. Tiny and huge things are at the same level, right? It's just how we look at them. Yeah, it seems like this is important. Oh, this is not important. Everybody has different views, or because they're different memories, or it's embodied, so it seems like, oh, this subject is really important and about relation, and another one is, oh, it's about money, and all the time it's about money. Everybody is different in that sense. So it seems like that's the subject that's really important or huge, and being busy with that circumstance seem to click on that, and then there's the whole story. That's just what's happening for no one already. Everything is empty. It's an appearance. So it's nothing is really and real and solid and there. It's an appearance. So it's like a mirage in the desert. It's not real. It's apparently real, and it's not happening. It's, you can't even understand that. There can be a sudden moment like, oh, and then it can be very obvious or not. But it's strange to hear that things are not real, and because circumstances and bodies, and even your own body, things like that, it seems so real, and your life seems so real, and everything is happening to you, and that. And there's suddenly a message like this saying, no, it's an appearance, and nothing is only real. It's real and unreal together. It's real. It's apparently real also. So that's, you can't even get your head around it. And there can be like, oh, walking away, or there can be something like, oh, there's another possibility. Oh, what is that? And then this is talking about that other possibility that has nothing to do with the story. And that me, that whole me thinking like I'm here and this is my life, and I'm living in two things like right and wrong, you could say, that's a story. There's nothing right and wrong. Oh, wow, that's about something else. Oh, it seemed like more money, more power. Yeah, in the world, it seems like that. Yeah. But if it's really power, I don't know. It seems like that in this story. There's a lot of things going on about power that seems very, for some people, it seems very important. And then they feel someone, and it's feeling like, oh, I'm someone, I'm really important. Because underneath, there's always, and that's in every individual, somewhere is going on. Am I good enough? And that can be a huge trying to feel good enough by having power, or having enough money, or enough friends, or whatever, trying to fulfill what you need. And then there's this message saying, but there's no one. So that's complete something else. Do you feel also energies in the body? I experience a lot of energies in the body. Are these the contracted energy? No, it's just energy. Can be energy, yeah. Feeling energy in the toes, or I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I think, oh, it's relaxing. And then I think, no, I don't know if it's now relaxing or not. I don't know. It's just energy, feeling energy can be there. What's when everything is lost, it's also lost the the being busy with it, the noticing, that's also lost. So there's not so much going on about what's happening sometimes for a while. And then it's forgotten, we say, or not there. It's the same with everybody. Like everybody, what's here happening, it's not different. The only thing that can be different is the loss of the noticing, like, oh, what's happening here, and being busy with that. That's not coming. So there's also no escape. Are you more easygoing? Oh my God, I don't know. There's nothing, the strength, it's not I am here and the me or that thing what's troubling is lost. Everything is lost. So there's also no Rose, or not being busy with how is Rose going during the day, or what is happening. That's also not being busy with that, or that doesn't come up. So I don't know. And when I look, when there's a remembering, it's more relaxed, you could say that. But it can also be times that there's suddenly something like happening like that. Can be for a while. Well, I don't know. There's nothing going on, and that's what also when there's an individual and this is my life, there's trying to remember, oh, this is my thing that's going on, and how do I deal with that? And oh, that's now much better than a few times of a few months ago. So oh, it's going better now, and I found something about that. That's how me, or how most people live, and that can be lost, that whole thinking about what's going on. So I don't know what's going on. It's just forgotten. And then when people say how it was yesterday, I I don't even remember what was happening yesterday. Sometimes I can, but it's sometimes it's even when I'm playing a game with my husband, and then after the game we are very fanatic, like winning, trying to win. And then after the game he says, yeah, I did win. And I said, yeah, that was a pity. And then he said, no, it wasn't like that. You did win. And I was already forgotten. So it can happen. It's just can be so quick. And sometimes it's not like that. So then there's really a remembering. But nothing is important. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter. It's everything. And it's not like thinking, oh, it's everything, so it doesn't matter. That's a concept. It's lived like that. So there's nothing. Yeah. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It doesn't mean it's nice, but there's nothing busy with, oh, is this nice? Oh, this is awful, or I don't want it. That doesn't arise. So it's just, there can be a day like, oh, bit like that, low energy. Nothing going on about what is this, or no escape also. Yeah. Or ta-da-da, well, it's just normal, like everybody. Oh, another question. Did your relatives, family notice any change? We don't talk about that. I don't know. Maybe sometime. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's not talking like that. No. I'm not so busy with that too. And there's no advantage. No. That's what me. And when there's feeling I'm here and there are a lot of questions or maybe suffering or problem, there's looking for something else. And this seems like, oh, this is the answer maybe. What can I do? What can I not do? How anything. hearing this is already it, like, no, this is not it. I don't want this. I don't like this. I'm looking for something else. So tell me, please. That's how it normally goes. And then the answer is no, it is. And that's no, a lot of people don't want to hear that because you want something else. That's so normal, the normal way. And then this message saying, no, it's not something else, it's this. No escape. Oh. Yeah, there's somebody asking. Hi.
Hey, Rose, good morning.
Hi. Hi.
The first time I listened to Tony, and anytime I really think about there being no one, it's a sense of everything being like scary and dead.
Hmm. Yeah.
And very like lonely in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody, there's also talking about the aliveness of it.
Yeah.
And I can tell there's like a resistance to let go of the hope.
Sorry, there is.
A resistance to let go of the hope.
Ah.
I don't even know what the
Yeah.
hope is for, but it's like the hope that I can arrive somewhere,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
sense
Yeah.
of like completion.
Yeah. 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 That's what most people have. That there's a hope for something else that feels better or feels more relaxed or free, or
Right.
happy.
Yeah, it's like being on a train and I can't stop the train. The train is just like steaming. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and then this message is saying, yeah, there's no one. And that
Mm.
it's everything is just abstract except for this. And
Mm.
and that it's empty and it's like that feels dead and it feels
Mm.
lonely
Mm.
and my parents aren't there and my
Mm.
my sense of love
Mm.
for children isn't there.
Mm.
I don't know.
But there can be a period, like there's falling away a lot of concepts about what's really happening and it's not there and maybe there's no hope and nothing is really some concepts, or maybe there are also new concepts about what's going on, but there can be a being in the desert and not knowing about what's going on and losing concepts, and there's not there's more nothing instead, and then there's hearing about everything and aliveness but doesn't feel alive. It's just maybe there's also when they're saying I'm lonely, that's comparing with there's it's just a feeling, and then maybe you don't know what the feeling is, but lonely feels like, oh, there's no one around, and then that's already a new concept. We are so that whole me thinking or me is so clever, and that making a new thing like, oh, but now I'm feeling very dead and very low. So there's already also in what's happening on top of that, there are, because there's a noticing like, oh, that feels that. I don't know if it's that, it's a feeling. There can be a feeling, I don't know. I don't know what, but there's no words for that, and it's also, it's not lonely, it's not, it's, I don't know, there's certain feelings and we make it in something. And there can be a time, there's, yeah, in the story there can be like a desert, like falling away everything, and there's still that hanging on to some concepts, or there's still a feeling of some me going on. And I only can say when everything is lost, then suddenly it's like, oh, but it's everything. And it's what is lost is the naming, the labeling, the concepts. But that can be energetic, be so strong that it goes on for a while. And at the same time, I can say that feeling of, you call it lonely or whatever feeling. That feeling is it. That's aliveness. But the aliveness is not like like that. Aliveness is everything. Like little children, they can lie on the sofa, but they just are full on like that, or whatever. What's going on? Oh, whatever is going on. So that it's in that sense that's aliveness, and we have maybe an wait. There's something a misunderstanding about what what aliveness is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's everything. So it's also being no energy. It's also alive. Or feeling dead, what you say, or how you can call it. That's alive. What, not in a nice way, maybe. But aliveness is not only like I am having a lot of energy or things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, there's another hand. Go on if you want to say. Fa.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. Hi.
Hello. For a while now, there is here, I can't really explain it, but there is, there's so many sensations in the body. That's why I call them energy. It's more like a bliss state. But not a bliss like I'm blissed out, not like that. But it's more like, I can't explain it. It's more like vibrant, like all the cells in the body are dancing, or I can't explain it. It's more like something energetic. And when I'm walking on the street, I feel totally invisible. It's like there's only walking, there's only sensation, only feeling my feet touch the ground or something like that. I can't explain it, but it's here day and night. Even at night, I don't sleep. I sleep. I don't. It's always this shimmering energy is going on, and I see the body is sleeping. When I wake up, I'm not tired, but something is always awake. I can't explain it. But still, there is still some center, because there is here waiting for the separation to disappear or something like that. So it's the only thing that's something sometimes a little bit frustrating, because I'm waiting for something to happen to that I'm like one with the walls. But sometimes when I look at the walls, they are also shimmering. They're also a little bit.
That's what I call appearance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand appearance.
But
I try to translate it.
Yeah, that's what I call that. Yeah, I think that's the same, like what you say. And maybe you have a misunderstanding of what should it be.
Yes.
Because it's already that. It's already that what's happening. And you don't need to understand it or describe it, because that's impossible.
Yes, when I look for a me, there is not really a me here anymore. I can't really. Yes, of course I can remember it. I have to go to the mind to remember something when somebody asked me about yesterday or past. But that's why the name, the appearance is a little bit hard to understand sometimes. That's why.
Yeah, but it in a way it's new, because we're so used that everything is solid, and then suddenly it's like more energetic or thing, and then seeing that you get used to it, and then it's just like that. Not being busy with that.
Is this like a byproduct of the
no byproduct?
I can't.
That's a nice word.
It's something that's solid. It's a little bit more malleable or something.
But it's just an appearance, and there's nothing special about it. And then when it's new, when it's suddenly seen, like it's like, wow, it's a wonder, and then it's just, but after a while it's just like that, and there's nothing being busy with that, and it's just
Yes, I
more
see the mind
it's
tries.
more embodied, or yeah,
Mind tries to understand it.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It can't understand it. It can't talk about it. I didn't speak about it for years. You can't say it. How do you say that? There are no words for that. Don't need to. But when it's new, it's like, oh, what's going on? So there's still something going on, like noticing it and trying to put it in a place, or seeing, or whatever. And maybe that's something me, but it's in a very subtle way can be there. And maybe after a while, just that goes also, because there's nothing maybe going on about doing something with it. I don't know. That's different. I did have that. I remember that too. And I had that for a year. I was like that. And then walking on the street, and I thought I can see through people or something like that. There was something, I couldn't even understand, but there was something strange happening. And I was losing everything and sitting just for maybe a year. And after that year, everything did go back, and I was looking for it and looking to my feelings. And so it went, so it's so different. It can be for a while, it can be like that, and it come back, or maybe it really, everything drops. Yeah. But it's already what is. So what's happening is that. That's the completeness already, the way it goes.
Yes. Yes. And also the view is more panoramic, something like
Sorry,
that. My view is also more panoramic when I'm walking
panoramic. Oh,
outside.
the view. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Hmm. Yeah, it's new. So it's like, oh my God, what's going on here?
yes.
But it's just a wonder that can be there. It's, yeah.
And
Yeah.
appearance, you can more translate it like verschijning in Dutch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm. Oh, there's somebody saying, who's looking at it? There's no one looking at it. That's lost. That's what normally goes on, that there's someone looking at it, or noticing what's going on, or being busy with how does it feel, or what's going on in the world, or things like that. And that's lost. And then suddenly, like, oh, it's just not arising. It's energetic. And then it's like, oh, well, there's no one. And it always was like that. And it seemed like, oh, this is so important to look at it, and that. But when that's lost, it's no big deal. It's just happening already by itself. No need to do something with it, or decide or control it. It's just happening already. And that was always like that. So we think we did it. Oh, no. There was already no one. That's something else. Mm. Do you deny then all scientific research? No. There can be research, and there can be discovering something. Well, yeah. So that it's not denying anything. It's seeing that there's a discovering in the story, like, oh, this is a body and from an animal and this million years old. It's just information that can be there. So what? Yeah. There's also research about no me. And then there's a discovering that after there seems to be a decision that seems like already the movement is going before the decision. So can be anything and any research. Just hearing it and then, oh, okay, that's it. Or sometimes, of course, also thinking like, what is that? Well, so what? I'm not the one who's knowing everything. And no, it's just a reaction. It's just a response. I'm not the one who knows or who is clear about everything. Yes, there can be being clear, but even that, when I was in the sauna and I was busy with trying to look at myself and now what I always did and feeling and what's going on and what has to do with that, and then suddenly that stopped. And it was completely clear. Everything was clear about how I can't even explain. It was so clear, but that fell away. So this is not about, I'm clear about everything. No, I don't know. It's just, there can be some question or somebody saying something and there's a response. That's it. When I'm walking in the garden, I'm not walking like, oh, everything is so clear. No, not at all. Just walking in the garden. That's it. Another question. Can you please talk a little bit about seemingly and apparently? These words come up a lot. When there's separation and when there's a little child and then suddenly the brain can abstract, there seems to be separation because it can abstract that there's somebody else there, over here and over there, behind and before, and all that is coming. Really little children don't understand these concepts. So then it's more like, oh, that's just capable of doing that. And then suddenly there can be a separation, and it's not one time, maybe it's coming and going, and then after a while it's more embodied, and then it seems like, oh, but the strange thing, what's going on when there's separation, then suddenly everything seems solid and real. I am there, you are there, this is the world, this is there's something outside going on, I have to behave in a certain way, so that feels good, because there's something. When there's that contraction also, then there's something, a feeling with that, like, oh, there's something gone wrong and I'm not good enough and all that. So there's a drive, an energetic, embodied drive to make it right and to do the right thing, to feel loved, because that feels like it's lost somewhere. So there's a drive to find it and to feel loved again and to do the right thing, behave in a good way. So there will be love or anything, whatever. So that's the struggle of there being someone and then doing everything you can to make it right. And then when there's being an adult and you tried everything and you did a lot of things like work on yourself and things like that, and money and everything, there can be a feeling like, oh, that it's not about that. That is not what I'm really looking for. And that can be like therapy, and then maybe that's something that's relieving, but it's not really. And then maybe there's coming to this non-duality meetings because it seems like, oh, it's about me, the me or the ego. A lot of people are talking about ego. Like, oh, that's what's the cause of all the trouble. So trying to do something like that the ego is not that strong anymore. So the same thing about there's something not right and there's going on, like I have to do something, it's still going, but it's in the story because everything seems real and solid. So there seems to be, I have to do it there, or I have to relate in a different way. It's always about that. And what is not seen is that everything is an appearance. Nothing is real. It's just one. There's only one, and there's nothing is real. It's apparently real. There's nothing happening. That's can't be understood because that's in the story. We're always about understanding and trying to know. That's the way that control can happen most of the time. And this is not about knowing, about something else, about childlikeness and its innocence. And it's not about knowing, but it's like, oh, it's a wonder, like, oh, nothing is real. There's just nothing happening. Nothing has any meaning. It's really like little children. They live like that. It's just there's just coming and there's just living. No, all those words like responsibility, it's on top of that. That's more in the abstract mind that can be there. But when that's lost, there's only innocence. There's only seen innocent because there's no one. And nothing is really happening. It's only an appearance, but it's not only a knowing of that, because then there's still a concept. It's lived, it's embodied, or yeah, embodied is also is not a good word, but I don't know how to say it. It's just lived like that. It's just like that. That's the freedom. Oh, a lot of things. Clarity isn't better than being unclear, isn't it? No, it doesn't matter. Because it's not about being clear. It's about taking a glass and what is there to be clear? It's just drinking that juice. That's it. And then, explaining. Oh, I was 30 and then I was, no, that's making it complicated. And that's what the whole me thing loves in a way. That's the construct and that complication so that it can think about it and being clear about it. Doesn't matter. Can be there or not. Life is just going. Okay, a lot of things go. It has nothing to do with clarity, somebody's saying. And the same can be said for understanding. Yeah, that's the same. And music generates good feeling. That can happen. Yeah. Anything. Also sadness. There are no good, I don't see good feelings. There can be a feeling of joy, or there can be a feeling of sadness. It's not good or bad. It's just that feeling. That's it. A good fart can be relaxing. Yeah. Nothing has any meaning, and that's amazing when that's in the story. Everything has meaning, and this is right, and this is not, this is better, and all that. That makes it very important to do the right thing. There's no right thing. That's what's happening. Yeah. This is not a new thing. There's a new thing. It's already that. It's already like that. Yeah. There's also not noticing being busy with what other people think and trying to take care or trying to take into account that, oh, I have to do this like that because that's not happening. But in the same time, it's not seeing anyone. So that's even then when there's a certain behavior, there's not noticing that there is not taking into account that there's somebody. So that's also lost. So that it's not noticed that that's not there anymore. So just that. And question: do animals and the rest of nature don't experience separation? Now they don't have that capability of abstracting. So it's just what's happening. Yeah, can be feelings or energy. Yeah. If there's no separation, if hatred and anger are not in place, are bad people do not exist and should not be blamed. There are no bad people. There can be anger, but it's not bad. It's anger. It's anger. Nothing is bad. We are always into looking at it and saying, oh, this is right and this is wrong, or this is bad and this is good, because it doesn't give a nice feeling. Because everything is related to a nice feeling. If it gives a nice feeling, then it's good. If it's not giving a nice feeling, it's bad. And that's, for people, it's different. So then good and bad are mixed, because it's for different people, it can be different. So there's a lot of fuss about what's right and what's wrong, of course. Because it's always about that individual wants to feel good about himself, about the world, in the end about himself. And this is saying there's no one. So there's only innocence. Yeah. There can be pain, but it's not because of anything or anyone. There's no anyone. There can be pain or anger. There can be somebody shouting, and maybe there's pain going around, pain here or not. I don't know. Can happen, both of that. But we always into relating. This is because of you said that, or you did something and it was completely, oh, that felt for me. It was so like that. You have to take care. I have to see me. Why don't you see me? Why don't you take care? Why don't you? Oh my God, that's in relations, and with everybody, not only in a relation of man and woman, or two men or two women, but it's in everything. It's always about everybody has to take care of me. No, that's just what's happening. There's no one ever. There's never been someone. It's a huge embodied misunderstanding that there's someone and that there's separation. It's just what's happening. But that's so embodied and so strong and so real, seems so real and convincing. That seems to be the normal world. It sounds you have total acceptance of all people. No, I don't have that. Of good and bad, like they are equal to you and even being celebrated. I wish I had that. Accept only the good in life. Don't want me and my family get hurt. Yeah, it's not about accepting. No, not at all. Because there can be pain. It's not accepting that pain. There's no escape. That's more like it. There can be pain, but it's not. I don't know. There's not seeing that it's because of somebody else. And there's also no family, no children. I know there's talking in the story. Of course, I have children and da 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 da. Well, it's not really. When one of the children, let's say in the story, I don't know, but when they come in, it's just new. It's like, hey, hello, and it's just new. But it's like in everybody, And there can be a different feeling, maybe, I don't know, can be like that. Well, it's just new. So when somebody comes in, when they're not there, they're not there. There's nothing busy with that. Sometimes there can be a memory or some thinking, and then it's gone. Very normal in that sense. It has nothing to do with accepting. That's something you can do or not do. It's about what is.
Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also love this childish innocence. It's so wonderful. Once I gave my my grandchild a present, and I wrapped it into newspaper. A lot of
Ah,
newspaper.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he couldn't find the present, and then he just smiled at me and say, "Only garbage."
Yeah, that is so sweet. Yeah. But that's it. It's that.
Yeah,
It's seeing that.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. And that can be also, yeah, it's so difficult to say how it is. There can be all kind of situations. Yeah.
Yeah, it is in a way this without expectations. It is just what comes, and
Yeah.
it can be everything. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And what also can happen, then suddenly there's a contraction and there is expectation and there is something going on, like, oh, and then just being in that story, or maybe me is coming back for a while and then it's just gone.
yeah,
That can also happen. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And then it's gone, and then yeah, so what? That doesn't matter, or something like that. It's the same. So there can be me for a while, can be still that we call it me, or that contraction, or old pain, or whatever you call it, and then that's gone, and then it's just going on. So anything can happen too, in that sense. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. This because I think I have told you once this when you say it's amazing, then it can sound like everything
Mm,
is just amazing, it's wonderful, and so on. And
mm,
and
yeah.
you can, in a way, you can sit back and okay, it's not good enough. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's suddenly the feeling, and then it's strange to have that, because that was for years I never felt that, and then suddenly it was there, and then and it stayed, and then just spoken to, and then whoa, then okay, then and then after it just gone, and now it's nothing anymore. But yeah, that's still, there can be a contraction or old pain, or however, whatever you call it in the story. So anything can happen. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's everything. It's also that. Yeah. So it's not accepting, no. Oh,
no,
yeah.
yeah,
So me or no me, presence or no presence, nothing matters. No, nothing matters. But the strange, what normally is, when there's me going on and that problems, and really thinking, oh, I'm my life and it's not going well, and how does I do it in a relation, then it feels it matters. So saying to yourself nothing matters, yeah, that can be a concept that works for a while, but it's not really like that. Or accepting, oh, I accept there are these problems, and I'm just, it's not, nothing important. Saying that to yourself, yeah, for a while maybe that works, but it's flat. It's not really like that. So it's just a new concept. So it has nothing to do with that. It's not saying that to yourself. Well, that can, it's when that all that is everything is lost, it's just what's happening, and there can be contraction, and then or a bit of a struggle, and then it's something else, and then it's just going and nothing special. It's everything. And me jumps on it, me in the story, like explaining a bit, like, oh, what's going on? Oh, there's still that thing going on, and how do and then it becomes something, and that's, yeah, it's nothing. It's just nothing, and nothing matters. That doesn't mean that you like it. You don't have to like it. No. Can be a feeling like, oh, wow, the whole day, and it's just there, and there's nothing going on, like knowing what it is, feeling what do you do with it, or it's just not coming. It's just that feeling and nothing else. That's how it is. Can be like that. And then after a while, suddenly, oh, hey, there's something else. It's going. It's energetic. Everything is energetic. Mm. This is also freedom. Yeah. It's already freedom, but we will want to feel free, and that's the state, and that's something else. The freedom is that it's everything. That's the freedom. It's everything. Oh, feeling like that, or anything, joy. And we want only joy. No, life is everything. It's everything. That's the freedom. It's not a free feeling. It's not about feeling. And then there's nothing being busy with, oh, is this right? Is this wrong? Do I accept that what she is saying or he is doing? If that's not there, and then in these meetings that can be there, or in joining friends, then there's nothing being busy with trying to give a direction, or trying to say, oh, but it's better to do this, or, oh, and then maybe it's not in the words, but there's giving a feeling like, oh, it's better. Still, it's nice when there's a lot of explaining that seems to be like, oh, it's good to know. Then you feel like, oh, it's really good to know. So there can be a direction in the way the talking is happening, even if they're saying there's no one and it's not about good and bad. So there's underneath, it's the energy underneath. That's what the message is. It's not only the words. There can be a lot of being clear about the words or understanding. But the message is something else. It's about, there's no right and wrong. It can't be there. But it's not only in the mind, and it's not a concept. It's so embodied, then it's just living that, and it's in the energy, or I don't know, something like that. That's more it, and that's what's underneath going on, and that can be destroying concepts, or not. Maybe there can be a fear, or there can be anything. I don't know what's going on, but that's what's in these meetings can happen underneath, because you could say, I imagine when it's talking about me, I have an imagination about it's a building, it's a big building, it's a construct about all beliefs and things like that, and it falls apart when it's not, you don't renew on the how you don't take care of it. So you have to all the time being busy with it. So then it's just staying, or maybe it's more steady, and then it falls apart if there's no attention, and then up. So when there's in these meetings, there's no taking care of the building, you could say that. So that falls apart. There are no answers. There's nothing being busy with how to do it, how to maintain the building. So it falls apart. It falls apart, and there are not having questions. Before there were a lot of questions, and then suddenly it's falling apart. And there can be like fear because it's falling apart. I'm losing everything, or there can be a relaxation. There can be anything, but it's underneath. So it's like some animals going into that building and doing something. So it's you can't make it right anymore. So the concepts, they're losing concept. That can be very frightening because they're where you control and your identity, and then it's underneath there's something going on like, oh, I can't really see that importance anymore. But in a way, in the same time, there can be a fear of that. So there's just that building is trying to hold on the identity, but it's falling apart. And then suddenly it's like that, and it just falls down. Yeah, it's a story, but I like that story. Mm. Mm. And it's just this. When that whole construct and that whole building is falling, there's nothing left. And then they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. There's nothing left. I lost everything. You think then before I lose everything. Oh, it's not going the right way. Oh my God. And then suddenly it's lost. And then, oh, not a big deal. It's just going. It's already going by itself. Life didn't need me to 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 make it right or something like that. Oh, it's already what's going on. And there's nothing right or wrong. It's just neutral. It's just going by itself without meaning. It's just energetic. And it seems like all buildings and circumstances, but it's just energy, colors, and it seems like buildings and work, and we can abstract, so we can think about it. A lot of thought. How amazing did again amazing. How amazing is this seemingly world, like a mystery? How is that impossible? How is it going? Like everything is seen like it's light, and then it's seeing like a table and like work and the thoughts coming. It's an amazingly in mystery. It's a mystery. Well, it's just, it isn't a real mystery in it's open, the open secret. I like the word open secret. It seems like a secret. How is life working, and how is it possible? And we try to find out, to have control, and to make it work in a better way. And it's just going by itself. There's no need for anything because it's already complete. There's nothing wrong or right, and there's no one. It's empty. And it's just going. It's not about us. It's not about us. It's just going and like that, and seeing bodies and growing or not growing. So what? That's everything. It's everything already. And that's the joy. It's not everything seems like it's nice, but it's just everything. Very neutral, very literally. Not seeing anybody. No, it's empty. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Mm. Ah.